welcome or welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met yet, I'm Naila and I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to do this protective style of mini twists. Mini twists are the perfect protective style because it's a low manipulation style, which means it prevents breakage, it promotes length retention, and ultimately will help grow your hair. At the beginning of the year, I realized my hair was breaking. I thought I could just nurse it back to health, but about 3 weeks ago, I did a wash day and I finally saw the back of my head. And my hair was splitting directly up the center from all the slick back buns I was doing, from the wash and goes, and all these things that I think we have been told were protective styles that actually are really bad for your hair. And so yesterday I saw on Instagram this video that demonstrated really clearly why ponytails specifically are so bad for your hair. It's literally like putting your hair on a cutting board and chopping it where the rubber band is for the ponytail. So I decided right then and there that I was gonna do protective styles only for the next at least month, but I might even try to stretch it to the next 2 months just to see if there's a difference in the health of my hair, because I think sometimes we have this misconception that long hair equals healthy hair, and I had to learn firsthand that that's not the case. So to prep for my twist, I did a flaxseed gel mask. I shampooed, conditioned, and deep conditioned my hair. I let it air dry in 4 braids to stretch it out, and then I styled. I feel like if you twist on hair that's too stretched, then it won't get juicy, but if I twisted on my hair that was still wet, it would shrink. So hopefully this is a good middle ground. So I'm just sectioning off the back to have a good starting point. Starting at the bottom to detangle the section. Because my hair is so fine, I want to make sure I use a light amount of product, just enough to have it moisturize, but not too much to weigh it down. So I'm braiding the base to make sure the twist stays, maybe about 1/2 inch down. Then I'm taking this 3rd section and splitting it in 2. And starting with my twist. With styles like this, and when I do braids, I try to make a little bit of variation with the sizing of my braids or my twists, because with fine hair especially, it can get a little spaced out in between. And so, if there's any part of my hair that looks a little less dense, a little sparse, I put some smaller twist or a smaller braid in where the hair is parted to make it look fuller. So I kind of just feel it out. Because the back has hair covering it, I didn't have to part that neatly, but the front you can actually see, so I have to be more intentional with my parting. I like to stagger my parts so that they're not perfectly lined up. To me, when you have fine hair, that allows it to look a little bit fuller, because essentially how I like to stack it is the twist will cover up the parted section so that it gives the illusion of fullness. It doesn't have to be drastic, just slightly off center. The twists in the very front are the only ones that I use a little bit of edge control at the base. They need to be just a little bit neater because, well, you can see them. So with the edge control and the vegan Grogurt, I'm taking my hair into the 3 sections to start as a braid, except unlike the other sections, I only braid once. Now I'm splitting the section and twisting. And I'm twisting away from my face. Now for the ends, I just take a little bit of water, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of the Grogurt to give this curl more of a shape. So the twist ends up naturally falling kind of behind this one to cover the part. And when they're all done, it'll make it look fuller. Styling fine hair is all about creating dimension. In my opinion, it looks better when it's slightly kind of messy or unraveled at the ends, because the curliness of the twists also help them look a little fuller. Truly most important, as with any protective style, is that you're keeping your hair moisturized, because if your hair isn't moisturized, then it kind of defeats the purpose of doing a protective style. Your hair could still break and would still be dry, and when you take them out, you'll likely lose like a lot of hair. So this is the last section where the parts don't really matter because they're going to get covered. But the very top of my head and the front is the part that you can see. So those parts actually do need to be a bit neater. How I use this section, I try to just fill in the areas that look a little bit, you know, skinnier. I try to make sure that I'm filling in the gaps and the spaces. If you want your twists to look more uniform, I recommend trying to actually do them the same size. I personally don't feel like the size matters that much. Like, there's a lot of variety in how I twist my hair, but that creates a little bit of like a boho look in my opinion. So up to you, both ways work, but I like to just kind of mix and match the sizes based off of what I need in order to make my hair look full. I could do a middle part, which I don't think would be as flattering on me with this style, or a side part, and I think I'm leaning towards the side part. So I'm just gonna part it diagonally right here in the front. Side note, I need Beyonce to restock those edge drops. I made the mistake of using way too much on each application when I got mine, and I went through the entire bottle in a week. Because although the instructions are honestly in the label, it says drops, so like you should use them as like little drops. I was using it like a more traditional hair oil, and I have a lot of hair. And so yeah, the entire bottle was emptied in a week. And I'm really sad about it. One, because it was $56. But two, because I went to buy another one because I really liked the oil. And of course, using it only a week, I'm like, I don't even know if this worked or not because I didn't follow the instructions. So I went to buy another one and it's sold out everywhere. So yeah, I need her to restock because this is the perfect hairstyle to use the edge drops with. But they're all gone. So I need to do a different type of hair growth oil. One thing I've had to learn with doing protective styles, especially ones that like I get inspiration from online, I have to remember that my hair is going to be my hair. So when I'm looking at people doing different hairstyles, as much as I might like a specific one or like how it looks on them, sometimes you just have to be okay with the fact that like your hair is not going to look like that. So whenever I see people do mini twists, for example, they look really nice and juicy and full. And I really wanted my hair to look like that. If you are going to try any style for the first time, I really encourage you to keep an open mind and not be like too married on to specific results, you know? Like, I'm really liking how these mini twists are coming out, but this is not this is not what I was like picturing in my head, because the examples of mini twists that I looked at were mainly with people with completely different hair types as me and whose hair was not nearly as fine. A part of loving yourself and appreciating what you have is learning to be okay with that. I noticed that when I twist going away from my face, so I think that's technically counterclockwise, the twists come out a little bit neater and they stay better. So that's the direction that I'm twisting in. I'm twisting counterclockwise away from my face for the braid. And then leaving the ends, I'm just wrapping around my fingers, spraying with some water, and getting a little extra product on the ends. For the piece closest to my face, I want the twist to fall kind of here. I want to braid back and a little bit further down than the other front pieces, just to kind of guide where I want the twist to fall. Because if I don't, then it's going to be in my face. My hair feels extremely soft and moisturized. And because this is going to be a shorter piece, I actually want a little extra curl on it. So I think that will help add like a boho look to it. Yeah. Cute. Although my hair is technically done, it's not a completely finished look until I do my makeup, because that's when you know for real if you like a hairstyle or not. But right now, I feel like Beyonce in Fighting Temptations. Like, I feel like it's really giving cute Y2K. Like, I like it. Yeah, but we'll be back. We'll see. But as always, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, found it helpful, or liked me. Comment below if you have any questions, suggestions, or want to chit chat, because I will write back. And make sure you subscribe to my channel for more content like this. See you next time. Bye.